minimal symptoms, but you still have the possibility of transmitting it to someone else.
Okay.
Or you could be infected and have some significant lung disease that would require hospitalization and perhaps even some serious intervention.
14 of these new arrivals testing positive for coronavirus. There's a call for President Trump's attorney general to resign over his stepping in on behalf of former Trump advisor Roger Stone.
More than 1,100 former Justice Department officials and federal prosecutors signed a statement calling on Attorney General William Barr to step down, citing the reversal of a sentencing recommendation for Stone. They also called on current employees to report any suspected unethical behavior to Congress and the department's inspector general.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. America's listening to Fox News.
W277CK Princeton. Time to take a look at community news here on 1580 103.3 WPKY. This morning's community news is brought to you by Community Medical Clinic.
Well, it's time for you to order those strawberries. Come on now. The Caldwell County High School football team is selling strawberries through February 21st. Now, they're $26 for a whole flat, which is 8 quarts, $16 for a half flat, or about 4 quarts. You can make your check to the Caldwell County High School football team. Now, orders can be made through any CCHS football player or coach. If you need help locating an athlete or to order, contact the high school 365-8010, or you can head to the Woodall Agency before February 21st and ask for Miss Holly. Delivery date will be March 24th.
March 7th is the date of the Follies. Tickets on sale now for the 2020 Caldwell County Band of Pride Booster Follies. Don't miss out on the variety show that features a little bit and a lot of everything. Enjoy live music, skits, poetry, dance, all kinds of good stuff. Even some comedy performed at the local community members of all ages. Tickets are available set for several categories and price points to fit every need. Now, you can enjoy dinner before the show at 5:30. Reserve full dinner table for 6 for the whole family, booth for 4, or even a table for 2. Folly tickets are available without dinner as well. Curtain opens at the Caldwell County High School Fine Arts Auditorium at 7 for the big show. For ticket information or for show times, contact CCMS Band Director Mason Henry, 625-9558.
Well, if you've got a child that was interested in playing, well, I hope you made it to the tryouts out at Trilogy Performance Sports over the weekend and the Valentine's Day brunch out there at Highland Baptist. We heard they were a lot of fun. It's that time again now. The first Caldwell County Farmers Market meeting for the year is set for Thursday, February 27th at 5:30 at Caldwell County Extension Office. Now, they're going to be discussing plans for the grand opening and other events for the season, as well as gathering information on products that's going to be available to help with marketing and advertising. Anybody interested or planning on vending at the market is encouraged to attend the meetings. They are pretty important. For questions prior to the meeting, feel free to reach out to Market Chairman Stephen Schaefer, 270-625-8453 or 625-1882.
The Caldwell County High School junior class currently selling tickets and collecting silent auction items for their annual dinner theater. The dinner theater will be held Saturday, February 22nd, and that's at 6 p.m. at the high school cafeteria. Tickets $20 each and include a meal followed by a murder mystery performance by the Market House Theater of Paducah. All proceeds from the ticket sales go towards paying for the prom, as long as other trips and things that go on out at the Caldwell County High School for the senior trip and for the next year.
Of course, we're actually going to have some of those tickets to give away this week.
Yes, we are. We do have some.
So look forward to that and stick with us every morning because we're going to be having some fun things to do so that you can pick up some tickets to go see that. Because that's going to be that's going to be a lot of fun. I don't want to miss that. Now, registration is underway for the 2020 Dawson Springs Youth League baseball and softball seasons. Now, if your child is in preschool through 6th grade and wants to play, they are eligible. Parents, if your child wants to play ball and is needing financial assistance, please let them know. Now, that's whether they're from Dawson Springs or not. Either way, assistance will be for a limited number on a first-come, first-served basis. Now, in addition, if your child has special needs and has always wanted to play, please let them know as well. The Dawson Springs Youth League is making it their goal this year that every child, no matter their level of experience or special needs that wants to play, has a place and team to play on. For more information, you can find them, register, and message the Dawson Springs Youth League on Facebook or give them a buzz at 270-619-4523.
That's exactly right. So sounds like a wonderful thing to do.
Oh, it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
It really is. And, of course, you talk about fun and a little bit of athleticism goes into cornhole, too, doesn't it?
That's exactly right. The Caldwell County tennis team having their cookout and cornhole fundraiser, their tournament, is coming up on the 29th at the Butler Gymnasium. Double elimination tournament. Sign-ups begin at 9. The tournament begins at 10. There's cash prizes for first, second, and third place. Concessions will be available in the gym as well. Call 270-625-4985 to sign up. So that's just one cornhole tournament that's going to go on.
Well, that's a good warm-up, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's the other one. And the Northside Student Ministry is going to host a cornhole tournament on Saturday, March 14th. And, of course, again, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. This is going to be one of the fundraisers for their summer missions camp called Infuse. Now, registration's $20 for a two-person team. And if you're interested in competing, you can sign up on their website, Facebook, or call the Interim Youth Minister, Zach East. There's going to be cash prizes for the top 3 teams. And guess who's going to be here today on Coffee Talk?
Who?
Brother Zach is going to be
right.
here, and he's going to tell us all about this cornhole tournament today. And we're pretty excited about that. I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So stick with us. Speaking of Coffee Talk, that's up next. 1580 103.3 WPKY.
And here's your WPKY President's Day. Weather forecast, 40% chance of showers late this afternoon. You expect a high of 63. Showers will continue overnight tonight, low down to 47. A continued 40% chance of showers tomorrow morning. Then clearing out, just clouds in the afternoon. Temperature is going to fall to the mid-40s by 5 p.m. tomorrow. Then sunshine for Wednesday, a high 46. Partly sunny Thursday, a high of 37. So cooling back down. Again, for this President's Day, 40% chance of showers this afternoon, so might want to grab that umbrella or that rain bonnet. A high today of 63, 44 and cloudy at WPKY.
The Joint is serving up pulled pork, brisket, jumbo wings, ribs, chicken, and more with all the fixings to go with it from their secret family recipes, all at The Joint in Eddyville. Do you want to save money on your winter electric bill? When you're at home and awake, set your thermostat as low as is comfortable, but when you're asleep or out of the house, turn your thermostat back 10 to 15 degrees for 8 hours, and it'll save around 10% a year on your heating bills. A smart programmable thermostat can make it easy to set back your temperature. Brought to you by your Princeton Electric Plant Board. Hometown Energy working for you.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband. He lost weight. More important, cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend went and she lost 20 pounds in the first 2 months. So does Mark Patrick hypnosis work? Oh yeah, it works. Nothing has changed my life more. Well, except maybe my husband. He's so proud of me, makes me cry.
Oh my, a touching story. So what are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed for only $49.99. That's right. Weight loss seminar Tuesday, February 25th at the Wyndham Garden, formerly the Holiday Inn in Hopkinsville. Time is 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Registration begins at 5 p.m. Stop smoking seminar starts at 8 p.m. Registration starts 7:30 p.m.
The time has come to vote in the Best of Western Kentucky 2019. Vote for your favorite business in over 100 categories today at WPKYOnline.com. Voting ends March 1st.
Do the winter blues have you down? You're not alone. Seasonal depression affects many people. If you're experiencing periods of low energy, social withdrawal, hypersomnia, or other symptoms of depression, seek help at one of our licensed professionals. Call 1-877-667-7071 to schedule an appointment at one of our 8 convenient locations in Western Kentucky. At Health First, your health is our first concern.
1580 103.3 WPKY. Tess and Ty at 8:13. Good morning. If you have not hit our Best of West Kentucky I did want to. I wanted to take a couple of minutes for that because that's something that it is really a way to say thank you to a lot of businesses in the area. And I will say, Kyle and a lot of them have worked so hard compiling all of this stuff because it's a lot of information. Because we don't just do Princeton and Caldwell, and we don't just do Trig or Cadiz or whatever. It's all of them, and that's what I think is so cool about it is it encompasses the whole area. And that takes quite a bit of hands and brain power and hours, and we are appreciative of that. But I'll tell you, to have that sign kind of in the window when, patrons pull up or your customers pull up, I think is pretty neat. I always like, that's kind of a sticker that you look for. If you pull up in the parking lot and you see that Best of West Kentucky sticker in the front glass when you first get there, you go, hey, look at there. I bet this place is going to be pretty good. And again, you and I had talked about before, it's almost like a suggestions because a lot of people get on social media and they ask for suggestions, someplace new to go, or, what's the best place to get some horse feed, or, different things like that, barbed wire. Where's everybody getting their T-post right now? That I see that on social media all the time. And this is a great way to use that for suggestions, really and truly, because when you log on there, it tells you, automatically if they're nominated, that's what your buddies, that's where they're going.
Yeah, there are 9 categories and dozens and dozens of subcategories underneath there for all kinds of stuff. We're talking about food and dining, agriculture, auto, transportation, family and pets, health, beauty and wellness, house and home, professional, financial services, and recreation, events, entertainment, and of course retail. So, and then when you hit those major categories and look underneath there for the subcategories, it's broken down to all kinds. And so, of course, we had a long nomination period, and now the voting ballot is up, and that'll be up until March 1st. So definitely encourage you to go to WPKYonline.com and, of course, check out the voting ballot. Just click where it says Best of Western Kentucky. Big old pretty red banner there.
Right.
And you can start voting. And it's a lot of fun, and you'll learn a lot about all kinds of businesses as well, because many of them have information there, their location, their website address. It'll take you right to their site if something interests you. So it's just a great way to say thank you, and then, of course, just learn a lot about the many, many wonderful establishments that we have here in West Kentucky.
Well, you know what? I'm going to click on a couple of them because you and I, we've had to have some home renovations and upkeep lately.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's just that time of year where everybody's everything wants to break. I don't know if it's because of the cold temps and then the warm temps and it's going back and forth or whatever. But this is one of those categories, the house and home category, that I think is pretty cool. And that's one of those things that I call the refrigerator list. You print it out, or when you find somebody you like, you kind of write it on the thing and you stick it on the fridge so that you won't lose it. And this is one of those times. You can go straight to it. And when you go to House and Home, and it's right there on Best of West Kentucky, you open it up, and it's right here. There's cleaning services. And, you look just below that, and then you go into climate control and like all kinds of stuff. It's construction and maintenance and all kinds of things. If there's something to do with your house that you need to fix, it's right there. And it's under a whole bunch of different categories. And I think that's so cool because it makes it so easy to find. And here is obviously the people that, this is where everybody around here goes and they click to. This is who they've nominated as the best. So it's a great refrigerator list to kind of hold on to. You never know. You can call one and not get a hold of anybody, so you call the other one on the list.
Well, you may need, say, for example, you're trying to hang a big screen TV above a mantle, and you say, you know what, that's a little bit above my skill set. Well, guess what? Maybe you go out there under House and Home and find a subcategory, find a handyman, and go. They might have a listing in there that says, we hang big screen TVs above mantles. So guess what? Boom! Bingo.
Well, it makes it so easy, and again, that's another thing that I like. I just looked up and saw construction and maintenance, and look how many are on here. There's several on here, and the one thing I like about it the most is it doesn't focus just on one city. So if your kid's in Murray and you need to know who to call, I bet you can find one, that's closer to them versus, right here in Princeton, there's other people as well. And of course, I know we focus on food a lot. And for some reason, I don't know why, but Ty and I always focus
I know why I do.
I talk about food a lot because I guess that's probably one of my favorite categories on here, other than maybe agriculture or the pets one. The pets one's pretty cool, too. But look here. Even coffee shop is under food and dining. Mm-hmm. How about that?
Yeah.
I mean, it really gets down to the nitty-gritty. Breakfast, and let's see here. What else we got? Burgers.
Barbecue.
We've got chicken. We've got coffee. Anything that you're looking for, I promise you, it is on this list. And again, it's
we got donuts and bakery.
I had to scroll back up there. Mexican, pizza, plate lunch, specialty foods, subs, chicken, catfish, catering, casual dining, burgers, buffet, breakfast, barbecue, and Mexican, Asian, bakery. You couldn't get more specific. So this is I'm telling you, maybe you should just print out the whole thing as like your own little catalog.
We definitely need to go on there and vote.
Well,
and say.
And it's even got phone numbers on here, Ty.
Yeah, and links. You click it, and many of them, you get links right to their website or their Facebook page, so you can find out more about them, their location, of course, their phone number, and it's just a great way to learn about all the many businesses in and around Western Kentucky. It really is.
Well, I think it's worth every minute that you spend looking at it and paying attention to it, because it's one of these things that eventually these are the people that you're going to want to go see. You're going to want to go eat over there and grab a cup of coffee, or maybe get a donut. You're going to need a birthday cake, or you might just need to go out and get some barbecue. Good morning, John. But you never know, and that's one of, even down to daycare. Daycare's even on here. Daycare for your pet is on here. I don't care what you got to do. It's on there. So make sure that you spend a little time and, vote for your favorites, because they deserve it, and because it's a really great thing for them, and it helps them out as well. And it's a great way to say thank you. So vote often, vote as many times as you can. You can vote with each email, and not that Ty and I do that. We might. 820 with Tess and Ty and 1580 103.3 WPKY. We got people in the house that we're going to talk to next. Stick around and you'll find out who on PKY.
Hey guys, Heidi with Capitol Cinemas, your local Princeton movie theater with your weekday lineup. In Cinema 1, Sonic the Hedgehog, PG. In Cinema 2, Birds of Prey, rated R. And in Cinema 3, 1917, rated R. All movies show Monday through Thursday at 6:30. Call during showtime hours at 270-365-0200 or visit us at capitalcinemas.net. Thanks for listening. See you at the show.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors & More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors & More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Brands like Mannington, Shaw, Tarkett, Beaulieu, and Flexitech. Quality brands, excellent customer service, combined with 40 years experience is why they say you can walk on our reputation. See Bill and Lucy at Perry's Floors & More, 127 West Market Street, Princeton.
Shop local, buy local, save big deals.
Imagine if there were a place you could go to buy gift certificates to some of the best businesses in town. Now, imagine all those great gift certificates priced 30, 35, 40%, and at times over 60% or more off retail every day of the week. The Loyal Listener Big Deal Store is online and waiting for you to shop and buy gift certificates to local businesses. Go to WPKYonline.com.
1580 103.3 WPKY, Tess and Ty, and we got some people in the house that are smarter than I am. I'm going to tell you that. They've got this, even their flyer is really cool. And we've been talking a lot about it and kind of talking about how much fun it is. Because I will admit, Ty and I love anything that's competitive. And I'm probably worse than he is, but we're very competitive people. And if you give us checkers, we're going to find a way to to make that throwdown pretty exciting. So this is something that I think is going to be a whole lot of fun. And, of course, we got our friends from over at Northside Missionary Baptist Church here. Ty, who we got with us?
Oh, we've got Youth Minister Zach East is here, and just a member of the youth group is Colt. Babb is here. So they're here to talk about, they've got a really great cornhole tournament coming up on March the 14th. And good morning and welcome, and tell us about the wonderful tournament you have going on.
Good morning, guys. So We are super excited. This is actually the first time that we have done a cornhole tournament at Northside. We were trying to find just some different ideas of ways to raise money for our students, but also just to bring in our community with something that they're going to enjoy. And so one of the ideas that we came up with was actually based off of a fundraiser the tennis team does, is the idea of doing a cornhole tournament. So we are planning our first cornhole tournament for Saturday, March 14th. And we're looking to start that around 9 a.m. And we're just super excited to be able to offer that opportunity.
It's a lot of fun. And it's one of those, now don't get me wrong, it can be highly competitive. I agree with that. Cornhole is, hey, they can really get serious about their cornhole. But, it's fun, though, at the same time. And what a great fellowship, because you can do it at any age. I mean, your older grandma and grandpa can get in the middle of it, but, the little ones can, too. And I think that's neat.
So tell us about your tournament. Of course, Saturday, March 14th. Tell us about who can qualify, how much it costs, and the location, and all the good stuff to get enrolled and to enjoy a full day of cornhole.
Absolutely. So anyone is welcome to participate. Right. Anybody, it can be kids, it can be youth, it can be adults. It doesn't matter. Anybody's welcome to attend. It is teams of 2, so we are encouraging you to find a partner. $20 for a team of 2 or $10 per person, however you want to look at it. To register, there are several different options. You can call the church, 270-365-6062, and they have registration forms in the office available. They can fill that out for you, or you can come by. Also, we're in the process of getting some flyers up around town. Our students and our parents are working on that. If you see one of our flyers, you'll notice at the bottom there are these QR codes. All you have to do is tear one of those off, take a picture of that with your smartphone, and it'll automatically pop up a registration form on the internet. Nice and easy. It's all right there for you. I'm going to let Colt here tell you a little bit about why we're doing the fundraiser and what we're raising money for.
Yeah, we're doing the fundraiser because a bunch of our youth kids with our, our church are going to this summer camp called Infuge. It's pretty much a missionary thing. We just go out, help the citizens of the city we're going to. We're going to have some fun while we're doing it. We're going to hang out with it. We're going to spread God's word through it. And it's going to be nice and fun. And this cornhole tournament hopefully raises some money for us that are working with it to help with concessions, help registration, help people get where they need to be, and just set up the place. And, we get, depending on how many people go, we get the amount of money for it.
Nice.
And one of the things I'm really excited about is seeing the students. Colt is actually a member of our leadership team in the youth group, so he gets to help plan these events. And I'm really excited because I'm kind of letting them take this and run. I've given them the idea. I've given them just the foundation of this is what this needs to look like. But you guys run with this. This is your fundraiser. You can make it what you want. And to see students like Colt and some of our other students just step up and take that leadership, that's been awesome. And so not only having the opportunity for this fun fundraiser, but giving these kids leadership experience, it's just been awesome. And they're stepping up with it, and they are running, and it's amazing.
Well, and it's good to see, that these kids are young. Now, how old are you, Colt?
14.
At 14, doing that and being willing to step up in front of somebody and do those kind of things and take that leadership role is really cool. And of course, you're the interim youth minister, right? Over at Northside Baptist, right here in town. I want to remind everybody of that, because that's something that now you guys are going to be busy, I bet, from now all the way through the summer, right? With activities.
Absolutely. All kinds of things planned for our kids, trying to keep them busy, keeping them involved, keeping them with things to do. So, yes, lots going on. So, definitely, along with that, we'd love people to join us for all of that. But
and when do they meet on a regular basis? Now, does your youth group get together on a regular basis, too?
So, we actually have 3 times every week we meet. So, Sunday mornings are when we do our Sunday school. That's at 9:30 on Sunday mornings. We have middle school boys in one class, middle school girls in another. And then right now, all of our high school students are together. Sunday evenings, we have boys small group and girls small group, where boys can talk about issues that boys deal with, girls can talk about issues that girls deal with. And then Wednesday night is our big, awesome, full youth group NSM midweek worship service, where we do essentially a church service. We start off with some fun and games to get the kids energized. We come together, we sing some praise and worship music, and then we'll have a time of just studying God's Word. And so those are 3 opportunities, along with special events, that our kids have every single week to come together just to fellowship and to learn more about God.
Oh, I love that. Anytime it's a positive thing for the kids, that's a good thing. And especially if you can get them together in a positive format like that together, Ty. I love that.
Colt elaborated a little bit about Infuge. Tell us a little bit more about that. Do you know what city you'll be doing your mission work in?
It sounds cool, though, doesn't it? That's a cool name.
I want to hear more about it.
So Infuge is actually a camp through Lifeway Christian Ministries. It's based out of Nashville, but the camp we're going to is in Ridgecrest, North Carolina, so just east of Asheville.
Yeah.
And so we're super excited about that opportunity. Actually, the reason we're doing Infuge is because it was one of the first camps I went to, which I went to the camp at University of the Cumberlands in Eastern Kentucky, and I loved it. But Ridgecrest is really cool because not only do you have the mission opportunities, but they have a lot of recreation opportunities that other locations don't have because they're a full-year conference center, and so the kids are going to have opportunities to go kayaking. They're going to have opportunities to play laser tag and just so many different opportunities that while they're serving the community, they're also need to just get away from town for a little while and have some fun with each other.
Well, and I'll tell you, man, that's a gorgeous area. If you're going to take a vacay, that's where you go, man.
Setting.
It is beautiful. What are you looking forward to the most with Infuge?
Spreading God's word with friends and with other people, and hopefully getting some towards God and that they accept God with it.
What about there's fun stuff too. You get to have fun too. So which part of that are you wanting to do the most? Is the kayaking or the hiking or?
Kayaking is the main part that we're already looking forward to. If there's other opportunities to do things, I would love to take that too.
Absolutely. No, I think that's good. It's a whole experience combined. And I think that it's okay, to have fun at the same time. So I think that's great.
Right. And one of the things I was messing with him about this morning is we were talking about one of the last things the kids are going to get to do is they're going to get to go whitewater rafting on the last day of the trip. And Colt was sitting here talking about the fact that he's just a little nervous because this will be his first whitewater rafting.
You should be.
But I also told him that Infuge is actually the first time I went, and it is super awesome, and these kids are going to have a great time with that. And so I think he's a little bit more excited now, maybe. Still terrified. It's okay.
How many?
I just started. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, how many total youth are you planning on taking to Infuge?
Right now, we have, I believe, 12 students and 6 leaders going. So 18 of us total are going.
And so, if they're saying, hey, that sounds like something right down my alley, I mean, is that something that you're taking, more people if they want to sign up?
Unfortunately, the way registration worked out, we took the last 18 spots that Lifeway had for this location. Now, we encourage people, if you do think this is interesting, if you do want to go, keep checking with us, because if we do have someone, unfortunately, have to step back to say, hey, I can't go, something's come up, we might have spots become available, and we'd love to fill those. So keep checking with us if you are interested.
Well, and I know that the youth have activities over at Northside all the time. So even if you don't get in on this one, there may be something else coming up, soon that you can get in the middle of as well. Like cornhole.
And how many cornhole teams can you accommodate with this tournament?
We are looking right now. We are hoping to have 8 sets of boards set up, which means we could do 8 at a time. We would love to see 30 teams. That'd even. Right. We could definitely accommodate even that many teams, if not more. So we are open to anybody that wants to come. We are looking for a great turnout. We're just excited for the opportunity.
Wow. And get your bags out, huh?
And you can have it right inside there. Is it going to be inside the gym?
Yes, in the gym. So don't have to worry about the weather. It's rain or shine. We'll be good to go.
All right.
Well, that sounds like a plan to me. Remind everybody the date, the time, and how to get a hold of you and get entered and registered.
So, again, the Cornhole Tournament at Northside is Saturday, March 14th, 2020. We're looking to start at 9 a.m. that morning. It is at Northside Baptist Church in the gymnasium. If you're interested in participating, either find one of our flyers around town and scan the QR code, or contact the church office at 270-365-6062. You're also more than welcome to email me. My email is Zach, Z-A-C-H, at northsidebaptist.net.
And he does answer. He answered me when I emailed, so he answers really fast. And remind them now, again, the service times throughout the week here in Princeton if they want to join the youth group.
Absolutely. So our youth services, we have Sunday school at 9:30 a.m. on Sunday mornings. And then, of course, we have our normal full congregation worship service at 10:30 that we'd love you to join us for. Sunday evenings, we have youth small groups at 5:30 p.m. And Wednesday evenings, we have our NSM midweek, our main youth worship service at 6:30 p.m. again on Wednesday.
Well, that sounds awesome. And of course, this is Brother Zach East, the interim youth director over at Northside Baptist right here in Princeton. And Colt Babb, Say hi to your dad, Marshall.
Hi, Dad.
Everybody knows his dad. I bet he's pretty proud of you, huh?
Yeah.
You're a fine young man, and we appreciate you being here today.
Thank
of course, you didn't have to miss school, though, right?
No, we're off today. Pretty happy about that.
Well, I'll tell you, I bet we learn a whole lot more about the Washington's birthday and President's Day and the whole 9 yards here in a minute, huh, Ty?
We're going to get a little history lesson coming up on Coffee Talk, so stick around. We want to certainly thank Zach East and Colt Babb for being here today and getting us in line and ready to go for the Cornhole Tournament March 14th at Northside Baptist Church Gym. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you much.
And here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast for this President's Day. 40% chance of showers later this afternoon, a high 63. Showers overnight tonight, a low down to 47. Continue 40% chance of showers in the morning, then cloudy by tomorrow afternoon. Temperature's going to be falling to the mid-40s by 5 o'clock. Sunshine for Wednesday, a high 46, and partly sunny skies for Thursday, a high near 37. Again, for this President's Day, may take your umbrella for a little bit later on this afternoon. Could see some showers, about a 40% chance. A high today of 63. Currently 44 and cloudy at WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Big John's Barbecue.
Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz is the place to shop for delicious homemade goodness. Hancock's makes their own fresh chicken salad, pimento cheese, salads, and a variety of mouthwatering desserts, sure to please your entire family. While at Hancock's, be sure to visit their meat department for the best selection of USDA choice meats in the area. Hancock's Neighborhood Market in Cadiz, hometown homemade goodness, and the Hancock name you know and trust for quality for your family. Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz.
There's a lot going on right now, and broadcasters are on the ground covering all of it, bringing you the weather, the traffic, and breaking news, all while entertaining you 24 hours a day. Someone needs to tell you what's going on around the world and in our hometowns, and that someone is us. We are free radio. We are always there. We are broadcasters. Visit wearebroadcasters.com or text radio to 52886 to learn more. Furnished by NAB and this station.
103.3 WPKY, Tess and Ty and Coffee Talk, and we've got somebody that I think I think everybody knows really and truly, and if they don't, they ought to get to know him. He's our town crier, Ty. Who we got?
Robert Ward is here this morning, and he's a history buff as well, so
yes.
We thought it'd be appropriate that since on this President's Day that we talk about a little history and our presidents. It's always interesting. We were talking earlier in our show this morning about the series on the History Channel about Washington. Yes. I don't know if you got to catch a little bit. That was interesting. Yes. Way to start off last night. And, of course, this President's Day, Washington's birthday, and it's kind of evolved into President's Day, I do believe. Yes. So good morning and welcome.
Good morning out yonder in Radio Land. Good morning, Ty and Tess. I'm glad to be invited up here to talk about this. I am not here by myself because the people that gathered this information for me is the ones that really do the work, and that was my wife and Linda and Susan Meadows. She turns out she's a pretty good expert on the presidents. She told me things I had never heard before.
Wow, up at the genealogy library.
At the genealogy library.
Well, thank you.
I always compare them, if anybody's ever seen an old movie called Desk Set by Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn in it. They knew the answers to everything, and if they didn't know the answer, they knew where to look. That's the way these ladies at the genealogy library work. But anyway, they got together some things for me, and I got them sorted down here in an order that maybe we can get through this. But
well, do you think that people are starting to become like we talk about the History Channel a lot, Ty and I do, just because that's kind of our thing. We're kind of into it. Do you think more people are becoming more interested in stuff like this?
I hope so. Now, it's like everything else. I can pick apart different things on the History Channel, and you know they take their slants on everything and everybody, but that's the way things work. So I don't have a problem with it. They do have on some good things. This Washington series is, I'll advertise for them. It's supposed to run 3 nights, and I watched it last night. Well, twice, as a matter of fact. I thought it was pretty good. I learned a little bit of something. Yeah. But as much as I have studied history, I still manage to learn something every day about it. But anyway, this being President's Day, This was a federal holiday and was officially made the third Monday of April back in 1971, all the way back then. You know, like the year after I graduated high school. Anyway, I thought back before that there was, you got George Washington's birthday and you got Lincoln's birthday.
Yeah.
At, two different holidays, and what they did is they combined them. Well, I couldn't ever find, didn't look as much as I needed to probably, I could never find where Lincoln's was an official federal holiday. Now, it may have been a state holiday, Lincoln being born in Kentucky. So anyway, 71, they moved it to the third Monday in February so that government workers and everybody could have a 3-day weekend. They've gotten good about that, and that's a good thing, especially if you want to go and take your family somewhere. You've got a good weekend to do it sometimes. Sometimes the weather's atrocious. We haven't had anything but rain here, but anyway, the banks are closed, the post office, courthouse, schools, and some libraries, not all, but I know here we are closed today. To begin this, George Washington was born February 22nd, 1732, and Lincoln was born February 12th, 1809. Now, Lincoln was born in Hodgenville, George Washington in Virginia. George Washington was, of course, the first president. He was the only president that wasn't a member of a political party. And in his farewell address, he warned us against aligning ourselves with political parties. And sadly, looking back on this, I think he was right. But anyway, since I've been a member of both of them, I can say I think the man was right. We've had Donald Trump is the 45th president, so we're up to 45 so far. And good, bad, indifferent, just like all history, we could stand and argue from one president to another. There are good points and bad points, and we would be here forever because every one of them had things that was good and things that were bad.
It's kind of like playing Monday morning quarterback too, though, right? It's
all history's playing Monday morning quarterback because you really don't get the effect of what happened or what was caused by what they did while they were in office.
Well, you could think it's good now, and then you say, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, because one of the guy who has become a favorite president of mine, and I'm not going to say who it was, but I did not appreciate the man at all when he was in office. Years later, studying, looking, I've seen the light, so to speak, and the man was probably one of the best we ever had.
Oh, wow.
But that's neither here nor there. We're here to talk about President's Day. So, and like I said, you might be surprised to find out that Lincoln's birthday wasn't a federal holiday at first. Anyway, about 10 months after his assassination, an address was given in Congress by historian and statesman George Bancroft. And he wrote in his memorial remarks that Lincoln should be remembered through all time by his countrymen. Well, 7 years later, there was a shopkeeper in Buffalo, New York. His name is Julius Francis. He thought that Lincoln should have a holiday, okay. So he started sending things to Congress, and he wanted to celebrate this holiday on February the 12th. And Lincoln's birthday, of course, and he would send these elaborate cards and memorial things to Congress. And one of them, they were on parchment, backed with blue silk. Found this interesting. They had 50 stars attached to them. No way there was 50 states back then.
Right.
And it had an exquisite needlework and inserted in a folding case of French walnut and enclosed in a Russian leather case.
Wow.
Well, he first organized a celebration of Lincoln's birthday in Buffalo, New York, and that was the next year. And it was celebrated every year until he passed away in 1881. And they included many readings to honor Lincoln, as well as an official address, singing, prayer, instrumental music, that kind of thing. It was a big deal. Well, later on, the Congress took it up, and like I said, 1971, all the way back there, they made it into a holiday, President's Day. And so looking at that, I thought, well, the best way to approach this is probably trivia, and I don't really want to bore you with a lot of dates. A lot of times people's eyes begin to glaze over when you quote too many dates. But William Henry Harrison, he served the shortest term. He died just 31 days after he got into office. He got pneumonia because he refused to wear an overcoat for the inaugural address, which was outside. And it apparently was not good weather. Anyway,
from being stubborn, basically.
Being stubborn, yep, that'll do us in every once in a while, guys. Take note. Even a president don't always make it by being stubborn.
I bet there was a woman around there somewhere that kept telling him, I told you to wear your coat.
You don't need to do that. But there was his grandson, Benjamin Harrison. He served in between two terms of Grover Cleveland. Now, Grover Cleveland was number 22 and 24, and Benjamin Harrison was number 23. Our longest-serving president, FDR, Franklin D. Roosevelt, he served 12 years and 3 months, and he's the only president to serve more than 2 terms, and a main reason for the 22nd Amendment, which bars anyone from winning more than 2 consecutive presidential terms. And that was ratified in 1951. I think Congress should have included themselves in that, but let's not get political.
Can you still do the... you can't do the between either.
I don't think you can.
You can't.
You can't do one and then wait a term and then do another. I think that is.
I think that's covered in the amendment, isn't it?
Yes, I believe that's correct.
What if they swap parties? Can they do it then?
I don't think it would matter. I think it's done by the individual. I think that's right. And for a good cause. I mean, I think that this was probably the best way they could have handled it. Now John Tyler, when William Henry Harrison died, John Tyler became the 10th president, and he was the very first vice president to assume the duties after the death of a president. His wife died while he was in office, and he was also the first president to marry while he was in office. He had a total of 15 children.
Oh, wow.
Which made him the president with the most kids.
That's why the White House is so big.
Maybe. Tyler thought of himself as a political outlaw and even named his plantation Sherwood Forest, thinking of himself as a Robin Hood. Yeah.
How cool is that?
So I thought that was a pretty good thing. Taft was weight-wise the largest president. He weighed 332 pounds, and he actually got stuck in a bathtub in about 1911.
That is the one thing that I remember about Taft from my history class is because he got stuck in the bathtub in the White House, and that's the only thing. That's the only reason I remember that guy.
Well,
and I said of all things for me to remember, but
but he did. But you know what? Another thing you need to remember about Taft, he was the only president that served on the Supreme Court. Before he was elected president. And so he was a former Supreme Court justice. I didn't know that either. I learned, like I say, every time we do one of these, I learn a lot. But 4 presidents died in office. Of course, William Henry Harrison, Zachary Taylor, Warren G. Harding, and, of course, Franklin D. Roosevelt. 4 have been assassinated. Abraham Lincoln, James A. Garfield, William McKinley, John F. Kennedy, the one I remember well, and then Richard Nixon was the only one who had resigned from office. Some other little trivia things. Calvin Coolidge, I was a silent Cal. He didn't have a lot to say, but when he did, you probably should pay attention. He was a pretty intelligent man. He would buzz for his guards and then hide under his desk while they would look for him.
Sounds like a practical joker.
He's a practical joker, but a quiet kind of guy. I mean, who would have really thought about that? I bet it didn't work but once, but don't you think it was funny?
That would have been hilarious.
Just all of a sudden he just disappears, But
what in the world would think would compel him to do that?
Well, exactly.
That would be fun, though.
Well, I'll tell you what, these guys, bless their hearts, they're followed around everywhere. Somebody guards them everywhere. every minute of
Need a little
every
privacy,
day.
right?
And, yeah, you'd at least like to go to the bathroom close to by yourself if you.
I'm gonna tell you what, that has got to be monotonous after a while though, because you're locked up in the same room all the time and you can't do nothing.
You're just kind of there,
Yeah.
But they I think a president is probably one of the hardest working individuals that there is, and that includes I say all of them were like that. I don't think you can be a lazy individual and be president at all. No. The fact that when you look at their pictures as they go into office and when they come out, they look like they've aged 100 years to me, and you kind of got to feel sorry for them because they actually have the weight of the world on their shoulders. You might as well say, us being the as far as I'm concerned, best country in the world, and they've got to kind of keep us on a straight and narrow and hope that everything goes well. Anyway, some other trivia was that Lyndon Johnson almost moved out of the White House because he did not think the shower had enough pressure for him.
He almost moved out because of the shower?
Because his shower just didn't have enough pressure. So apparently some of the presidents a little on the vain side.
Well, a little bit that I've read about Mr. Johnson, that goes along with his personality, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yeah. Yes, it does. And now, I mean, there you are with the, you can always find something. But I did not know that, and I give Susan Meadows credit for that because she said, well, I got a bit of trivia, and she asked me, and I said, wow. I didn't have a clue. And so, of course, you got to look at there's probably several years way back, there wasn't even a bathroom in the White House, let alone a shower. Right, yeah. So,
what did the White House outhouse have to look like? That's what I want to know.
You got to wonder if it was white, too. You know what I'm saying?
The White House outhouse.
I bet it was clean.
I bet it was too. I got to look that up. There's something for our next time. Robert.
I don't think nobody would ever know that. They probably know the location of the original outhouse. But anyway, and going on along with this because I'm about out of stuff, guys.
Oh no, we'll keep you talking.
Oh, I hope so. But I'm about out of stuff to read to you.
We'll keep you talking. No, we'll go somewhere.
Do you all know? This is a little question for y'all.
Okay.
Do you all know which president was the first one to be born in a hospital?
Huh.
Was it Ronald Reagan? Was it Richard Nixon? Was it?
I'd say Nixon.
I could give you a couple more, but
throw me a couple more.
All right. Let's see. Ronald Reagan, Nixon, Kennedy, Jimmy Carter. It's one of those four.
I think it's Reagan.
Oh, it might be.
I think it's Ronald Reagan.
Well,
I said Nixon, but
it was Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter.
Yes. Was it really?
It was Jimmy Carter was the first one to be born in a hospital.
Him and them liver pills.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all the trivia stuff I pretty much.
Do you believe in the book, Robert? Is there a book?
I wondered about that, like in National Treasure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you kind of got to wonder about that. But, they would have to keep a diary, a journal, and that kind of thing. And maybe there is a book. Who knows?
Would think.
Pure fantasy.
Yeah, it probably is
pure fantasy.
But wouldn't you like to think there is?
It was a great, it makes for a great movie.
Well, yeah, it made a couple of great movies out of it. They sure did.
There's at least that information, that meeting, that there's something, there's a face-to-face or something.
Yeah, well, thing of it is, that's what presidential libraries are probably for, and you can go and look up as much information as they will let you look at. I'm sure there's been several things have been classified that general public can't see even today. After a certain length of time, they might put it all out there. But
who is your favorite former president?
I'd go back to I have to go all the way back to George Washington because of the kind of man he was. He realized that nobody needed to stay in office forever. This is the man who could have been the king.
As I say, he had an opportunity to go one way or the other, just like in great. He could have been a king, and he chose not to.
And he chose not to, and he only chose to stay 2 terms, which I think shows a lot of character. And he was kind of a reluctant president too, and so I kind of favor him over some of the others. We've had some do-nothing presidents, but he also warned, like I said earlier, he warned against political parties, and I mean I think he had a lot of insight into how our republic should work. Now, we're not a democracy. We are a republic. If you don't know the difference, for God's sake, Google it and find out.
Well, he was interesting, too, growing up. He had his family.
He was raised by his mother. His father had died.
And he pretty much had to work on the farm as a youngster, into tobacco. And but I think you mentioned it's the temperance. I'm not so sure there could have been a man at that time, at that place, with that particular temperance that he had. He is the father of our country for a reason.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, you're right. And I think that God puts people in office for a reason, and they have to be the right man for the right time. And all the presidents have probably served that bill, whether I liked them or whether I didn't. But yeah, I think George Washington is my favorite president, and I think there were several times, and if you watched the thing last night or if you've studied Washington, several times he could have been killed.
Oh yeah,
and he wasn't. And I think the hand of God or providence, as he would write all the time, was with him, because he was reported dead at one time. I learned that last night.
Yeah, I did too.
Well, he had a knack for finding people and having the foresight of who to put around him, too, and who would be good at things and who just knew the right answer,
Well, that's exactly right. That's another thing, because a great leader will put the people around him that he needs that will make the decisions that have to be made. They don't do. It's kind of like me coming up here. I don't do this by myself. I got people around me that help me do this. And that's the way the president has to operate. That's the way a good general will operate in the military. He put the right people around you, people that'll get the job done no matter what, and you get back and let them do it. You can't micromanage everything. And when you do, you're just in trouble to begin with.
So was he a politician, a farmer, or a soldier?
He was all of the above. Yeah. He was a man for all seasons.
Because a lot of times they'll say, well, he was a soldier that ended up in politics, or a farmer that was, a soldier later on. So, but with him, he seemed to be everything, not one playing another.
No, he wanted to be a farmer. That was his thing. That was what he liked the best. And then, he saw a, if you want to call it a chance, he saw the need for somebody to, run the country. And I think reluctantly he took the job as president, but he did a fine job with it. And I wish that we'd paid more attention to the things that he was telling us at the time, so that maybe we wouldn't be somewhere, some of the things we've been into and some of the things that have happened since that time might not have happened, or might have been different. Mm-hmm. So,
Ty, what about you? Who was your favorite back in history?
I've got a bunch. And I'm just gonna, I looked to several different ones across different parties, but I'm gonna go to recent history. There was something about Ronald Reagan that struck me. A lot, and not to get in any certain party, but a lot of people thought, here's an actor, here's something. But a lot of important history took place under his administration, and moving forward, things that were set in place, especially you grew up under the Cold War, and you think about that. A lot of policy decisions during his administration sort of set the stage for the fall of the Berlin Wall, and of course he stood right there at the Berlin Wall and said, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." Before it happened, several years before it happened, but it happened eventually. So, that for those of us that grew up in that Cold War time or was scared of all that, that's a pretty important thing in a time of history. Then you can go back and people are Reaganomics, and you have a negativity there. That was, but for me, for that time, for when I was growing up, I look back and go, that's pretty strong leadership.
Like I said,
just one of many.
Well, like I can go back deeper. I think that God puts in place the man we need for the job. FDR was the man for the job. Now, I'm going to talk about World War II on that.
Yeah.
Some of the other stuff, not so much. But anyway, that's arguable.
Yeah.
But he was the right man for the job at the time. And it's who we needed to be in place.
No doubt.
And there were people who will argue with you that Lincoln was for the Civil War, that he was the right man for the job. I'll argue with you that he started it. But that's okay. We can do this because we're Americans. And
we have
you have a right. But you need to exercise your right. You need to go vote. You need to go vote. And that's something that really needs to be stressed. You cannot stress enough. Go vote. If you don't go vote, I don't want to hear you whining and complaining because so-and-so done this and so-and-so done that. Go vote.
Well, they died so that we would have the right for that. And
Absolutely.
It's been going on for hundreds of years.
A lot of people
and
did.
You know what? We always need those strong men and women to stand up for us, and then we need to say thanks by going and utilizing what they did.
You haven't thrown out yours.
Yeah, who's your favorite?
Me.
Jefferson.
Jefferson.
Okay, that's
Why?
a good one.
Do you have a reason?
I liked the way that I don't know, he had a creativeness about him, and he was almost just as much of a poet as he was a president. And I think his words were very powerful. And I think with him, it wasn't as much with him swinging a sword, but he was just as powerful with what he wrote down and the way that he said.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that can be so powerful for people as well. And he's probably my favorite.
Well, exactly. Sometimes the pen is mightier than the sword. That's what they've been saying forever. But that's a good choice too, because now
doubt.
The man could turn a phrase. There's no doubt about that. You could read the Declaration of Independence, and I know he had help writing it, but at the same time,
it's that foresight. He knew
exactly.
And I said, I think that's what his, we were talking earlier before the mics were on or anything like that. Ty and I were about a couple hours ago, and I said, you think about what if 2 miles down the road they hit a pothole and they didn't get to go vote? What if, two people over there changed their mind right before they got there?
Mm-hmm.
You never know. The country could be so much different.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just like I say though, go vote because your vote could change history. You just don't ever know.
And one thing about our founders, they were just all intelligent men, and probably there was some divinity laid upon them as well for the foundation of this country. So, but
like them, love them, political party, whatever, they were important.
Yes, they were.
So
they were.
No doubt about it.
And that's the really great thing about our country. You don't have to agree with everybody. You can intelligently argue your side without it coming to blows. And if you can't intelligently argue your side, give it up, because it's not worth coming to blows over.
No.
It's not worth that. Yeah. It's not worth that no matter what.
We sure appreciate you being
Great
here.
presidential information day on President's Day. Yeah.
There's nobody else that could have come in and done what you always do with us, and we appreciate that.
Well, I
so
appreciate the chance to come up and do this, and I'll put a shameless plug in. July 4th, we'll be reading the Declaration of Independence down at Planters Park next to City Hall. And this is a rain or shine event. We've been doing this now for, I've lost track of how many years, but a long time.
That's
good. Anyway, that's Jefferson's words. You mentioned Jefferson. That's your man, and those are his words and some others, and they need to be listened to, need to be heard, need to be paid attention to. And then later in September, and I don't know the date yet, we'll be reading the preamble and the Bill of Rights, the Constitution. Help the DAR with that. They allow me to hang with them and the Sons of American Revolution also. And so anyway, get involved in your local history, people. You really need to. We need you. We need to make sure that a lot of these things that we know and stuff we pull out of our hat, so to speak, local and national both, are not forgotten. So give us a hand, okay?
We appreciate Robert Ward, Linda Ward as well, his bride down at the genealogy, and Susan Meadows for helping him with this information as well. It's been a great coffee talk, Tess, and we certainly appreciate Zach East and Colt Babb being here as well.
Hey, if you missed anything, log on to our website, WPKYonline.com.
Winter electric bill? When you're at home and awake, set your thermostat as low as is comfortable, but when you're asleep or out of the house, turn your thermostat back 10 to 15 degrees for 8 hours, and it'll save around 10% a year on your heating bills. A smart programmable thermostat can make it easy to set back your temperature. Brought to you by your Princeton Electric Plant Board. Hometown energy working for you.
Of Caldwell County, we're 1580, 103.3 WPKY, Princeton.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband. He lost weight. More important, cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend went and she lost 20 pounds in the first 2 months. So does Mark Patrick hypnosis work? Oh yeah, it works. Nothing has changed my life more. Well, except maybe my husband. He's so proud of me. Makes me cry.
Oh my, a touching story. So what are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed for only $49.99. That's right. Weight loss seminar Tuesday, February 25th at the Wyndham Garden, formerly the Holiday Inn in Hopkinsville. Time is 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Registration begins at 5 p.m. Stop smoking seminar starts at 8 p.m. Registration starts 7:30 p.m.
Do the winter blues have you down? You're not alone. Seasonal depression affects many people. If you're experiencing periods of low energy, social withdrawal, hypersomnia, or other symptoms of depression, seek help at one of our licensed professionals. Call 1-877-667-7071 to schedule an appointment at one of our 8 convenient locations in Western Kentucky. At Health First, your health is our first concern.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors & More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors & More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Brands like Mannington, Shaw, Tarkett, Beaulieu, and Flexitech. Quality brands, excellent customer service, combined with 40 years experience is why they say you can walk on our reputation. See Bill and Lucy at Perry's Floors & More, 127 West Market Street, Princeton.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Health First Community Health Center.
There's an advantage in being the home team. You know who Emma Talley, Jake Lewis, and Pat Gates are. You've seen the wall around Butler Stadium and have heard of the Caldwell Crazies. Trice Hughes, we're your home team. Here's our home team deal of the week.
2018 Buick Regal, 13,000 miles, Trice priced at $269 per month for 72 months.
Get this home team deal of the week at Trice Hughes. Find us on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or tricehughes.com.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. 14 American evacuees from a cruise ship in Japan are diagnosed with coronavirus. They're part of a group now quarantined in California and Texas.
Among them, passenger Cheryl Molsky from New York.
We're just ready for the next step on this crazy journey that we've been taking and seeing what happens next.
Although some American passengers have opted to stay aboard the ship, which is already quarantined in Japan.
Fox's Simon Owen, more than 71,000 cases of coronavirus have been reported worldwide. The flooded Pearl River in Jackson, Mississippi